Welcome to the 4th episode of English Out and About. In this video series, we will share cultural and historical information about the United States. And along the way, you will be learning English. If you already know some English and want to improve, then this is the show for you. My name is Jane, and I will be your guide. Make sure you visit the links in the video description. There are additional resources for students and teachers to help you get the most out of this program. English teacher Tina will be here in a few moments to explain our language focus of the week, while mystery reporter Maggie and field reporter Francesca will show us different parts of the United States. Keep watching, keep learning, and the sky's the limit. Idiom alert! The sky is the limit. Have you ever heard this idiomatic expression before? The sky's the limit means anything is possible. This idiom does not have anything to do with clouds or flying, but I like to imagine the view from up high on top of a mountain or a tall building. When you see a big expanse in front of you, it seems like the world is full of possibilities. So listen for the sky's the limit throughout this episode and notice how we use it in context. When the sky's the limit, anything is possible. Now, more about today's episode. We will be exploring the central part of the United States, a region known as the Midwest. We will learn about two Midwestern women, one from Kansas and one from Indiana, sort of, in the future. But more about that later. First, let's go to Teacher Tina, who will explain this week's language focus, which is phrasal verbs. Over to you, Teacher Tina.
Hi everyone, I'm Teacher Tina. Welcome to today's show about phrasal verbs. Have you heard of phrasal verbs before? Phrasal verbs are just that, verb phrases or verbs that consist of more than one word. There are three basic forms: a verb plus an adverb, a verb plus a preposition, or a verb plus an adverb and a preposition. Let's consider three different phrasal verbs formed with the word look. Look up, look after, look forward to. Look up means to search for and find information. Look after means to care for someone or something. Look forward to means to anticipate with pleasure. Unfortunately, there's no easy trick to remembering what these verb phrases mean. There are so many possible combinations that the sky's the limit. You'll just have to memorize the most common phrasal verbs. Let's start by using the three phrasal verbs that we just heard about. Let's see if you can figure out their meanings in these examples. Are you ready? Let's go. Number 1. My neighbor has agreed to my houseplants while I'm studying abroad this summer. Look up, look after, look forward to. If you chose B, you're correct. My neighbor has agreed to look after my houseplants while I'm studying abroad this summer. This means that she agreed to come to my house and water my plants. Ready for another one? Let's do it! Number 2. Because she had never been to the school before, she had to directions on her smartphone. Look up, look after, look forward to. If you select E, look up. Correct! Because she had never been to the school before, she had to look up directions on her smartphone. This means that she had to use a map application on her phone in order to find the school. Ready for another one? Number 3. My trip to Machu Picchu because it is a place I have always wanted to visit. Look up, look after, look forward to. If you chose C, look forward to. Correct! In order for the sentence to make sense, we need to change the verb tense of the word look. So here's the correct sentence. I'm really looking forward to my trip to Machu Picchu because it's a place I've always wanted to visit. That's a very true sentence. All right, that is all the time we have for today. I will see you later.
Thanks so much, Teacher Tina. That was a lot of information, but phrasal verbs can be considered among some of the trickier parts of English. Once you have mastered some of the most common phrasal verbs, your fluency will improve and you will sound a lot more natural. The sky's the limit for how you can express yourself with phrasal verbs. Now, I'm going to send it over to mystery reporter Maggie, who will tell us about the adventurous life and mysterious disappearance of American aviator Amelia Earhart. While you listen, see if you can find the answers to these 2 questions. What records did Amelia Earhart break? What is one theory about her disappearance? Over to you, Maggie.
Thanks, Jane, and welcome, mystery lovers. In honor of Amelia Earhart, I have accessorized with an aviator-style scarf, and this tiny brooch, which I don't know if you can tell, is an airplane flying over a globe. But enough about me. This episode is about Amelia Earhart. She was born in her grandparents' house in Atchison, Kansas in 1917 and grew up in the Midwest. From an early age and throughout her life, she went against conventional expectations. And after her first airplane ride, she knew the sky was the limit. In her early 20s, Amelia took flying lessons and completed her first solo flight in 1921. She soon set records for flying to an altitude of 14,000 feet. That's approximately 4,200 meters for most of you. She was also the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. Always looking for a way to stand up for women, she put together an organization known as the 99s, an organization dedicated to promoting women aviators. But you know me and how much I love a good mystery, so you must know that in 1937, Amelia Earhart mysteriously disappeared on a mission to be the first woman to fly around the globe. She nearly made it. With only 7,000 miles to go before completing her round-the-world flight, she vanished. She did not land on Howland Island where she was supposed to stop, and her plane was never found, despite an extensive search mission. While there are many theories about her disappearance, none of them have been backed up with solid evidence. The first theory is that she ran out of fuel and ended up lost at sea. However, no one has ever found debris from her plane. Another theory is that she landed on the wrong island and was stuck there without food or water. Finally, many speculate that she was taken prisoner by the Japanese because they thought she was a spy. While her disappearance remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the 20th century, her legacy is an enduring inspiration to women. Back to you, Jane.
Thank you, mystery reporter Maggie. Amelia Earhart has always been an inspiration to me. Did you hear the answers to the 2 comprehension questions? What records did Amelia Earhart break? She was the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, and she set a record for altitude. She was trying to be the first woman to fly all around the world when she disappeared. What is one theory about her disappearance? Maggie mentioned 3 theories. She may have run out of fuel, landed on the wrong island, or been taken prisoner. Now let's go back to Teacher Tina for some more practice with phrasal verbs.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's focus on the 4 phrasal verbs that mystery reporter Maggie used in her report. Grew up, went against, backed up, and ran out of. Let's listen to mystery reporter Maggie use those 4 phrasal verbs and see if we can figure out their meanings based on the context. Are you ready? Let's go. Number 1, grew up?
She was born in her grandparents' house in Atchison, Kansas in 1917 and grew up in the Midwest.
Now, we heard Maggie say grew up, and in present tense, grew up becomes grow up. What is the meaning of grow up? To develop into an adult or to stand tall? Correct! The meaning of grow up is to develop or become an adult. Number 2, went against.
At the age and throughout her life, she went against conventional expectations.
Now, we heard Maggie say went against, which becomes go against in the present tense. What is the meaning of go against? Is it to hit a wall or to oppose something? Correct! The meaning of go against is to oppose something. Number 3, backed up.
While there are many theories about her disappearance, none of them have been backed up with solid evidence.
Now we heard mystery reporter Maggie say backed up, which becomes back up in the present tense. What is the meaning of back up? To provide support for something or to walk backwards? Correct! The meaning of back up is to provide support for something. Number 4, ran out of.
The first theory is that she ran out of fuel and ended up lost at sea.
Now we heard Maggie say ran out of, which becomes run out of in the present tense. What is the meaning of run out of? To run away really fast or to have none left? Correct! The meaning of run out of is to have none left. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. Back to you, Jane.
Thank you, Teacher Tina. Before we end our episode, I want to throw it over to field reporter Francesca, who will tell you about a second Midwestern woman who is from Indiana. Sort of. This famous woman is a fictional character, but she has had a big impact. Field reporter Francesca, can you fill us in?
Absolutely. It is common for statues to recognize historical figures, famous politicians, and sometimes celebrities. But this statue, which was erected in 2019 in Bloomington, Indiana, celebrates a fictional character. According to the story, Captain Kathryn Janeway from Star Trek, a popular science fiction series, will be born in Bloomington, Indiana on May 20th in the year 2336. Now, this character exemplifies a wide range of values, including humanity, integrity, and determination in the face of challenges. Janeway was the first woman to lead a TV show in the Star Trek franchise, and she helped to bring in an era of new roles for women. Played by actress Kate Mulgrew, Janeway followed in the footsteps of Nichelle Nichols and her character Uhura, who has inspired generations of girls to pursue STEM careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. Back to you, Jane.
Thanks, field reporter Francesca, and thanks everyone for a very interesting and informative episode. Make sure you tune in next week when we visit Atlanta, practice the active and passive voice, and learn about the civil rights movement. Don't forget to visit the links below this video for more resources. There are additional materials for teachers and students. Now, for our final minute, we want to share some images and facts from 5 states. This week, we are featuring Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, and Maryland. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next week.